That big smile on your face, look around the room and embrace all the beings that are with you this morning. Warm each other up with your smile. Give a little face value to your face with that smile. Let's wave at those who are streaming in from around the globe. We appreciate their presence. I met a lot of them this weekend in Costa Rica. Look at somebody next to you. The one you brought or not. Doesn't matter. They're all sweet and beautiful. Look at that being and just say, my. Oh my God. I get to sit next to you. And there's so much beauty in you. There's so much love in you. Power is running through you. You are a field of divine intelligence. Pure joy, bliss, and ecstasy. And you've got so much to give. And you are going to set your light free to make a mighty difference on this planet and to help change the world for the better. Let's be about this together in the here and now. And so it is. Amen. Touch and agree. That's a high five. That's a handshake. That's a hug. That's an embracing each other energetically and allowing the field of our intentionality to become the field that we're living in. So that which woke you up this morning and directed you to be here at Agape to celebrate the divine presence, that intentionality becomes the field in which we are living. So that we're not living in the fields of despair and fear and doubt and worry and lack and limitation and scarcity that run the gamut of the human experience at times. You're living in a field of a soulful celebration of a presence that is never an absence. That your intentionality is about localizing the cosmic celebration with the awareness that the entire cosmos is continuing to celebrate, that it gets to participate in the realm of the divine. You are choosing to be about that now, taking your mind back, re-enchanting your imagination, so that you're becoming a conscious celebrant of the presence that is never an absence, and then stabilizing that celebration, so that as you're moving through life, as you're coming in contact with the vicissitudes of the human experience, as you are growing and unfolding, you're becoming stronger and stronger and stronger in your ability to stabilize your awareness around that which is real, that which is timeless, that which is forever, that which is spiritual, that which is of God, so that you can be an instrument through which the presence gets to reveal itself on earth as it is in the mind of God, cutting yourself free from the superstitious thought that we have evolved from, that we're going to die and go to heaven. We're dying into our limited perception and bringing heaven right here, right now. Right here, right now. So look at your neighbor and say, I'm bringing heaven today. I'm blessing the hell out of everything. Give a little 5 on that so that we're together in this field of love and beauty and joy. We're aware this month our theme is and has been moving from the history to the mystery. Let's begin again. We've come to an understanding to a degree that we've often identified ourselves through the lens of our history, and have limited our perception as to who and what we are as timeless, dimensionless beings. And looking at our lives primarily through history, we get caught up in the vicissitudes of our perception of what has happened to us and the thought forms that those perceptions bring about that have the tendency to manifest and recreate the same thing over and over and over again. So thus, we're moving from the perspective of merely being historical beings, not that we throw that away, but that becomes less and less our identity, and we step into an awareness that there is a grand mystery of unfolding good that is beyond our imaginal realm, that this mystery of unfolding good is infinite, it is timeless, it is what we are. And we come to an awareness in this practice of prayer and meditation and visioning and sacred service and study and fellowship that this presence that is within us, this unmanifest good, if I could say, is infinitesimally larger, exponentially larger, both than the manifest realm, of which we have a tendency, of course, to live in and react to. But that which is within in you is greater than that which is within the world. And that which is within you is way larger, the unmanifest is way larger than anything that is ever manifested. And so we're seeking as spiritual beings, as individuals who are on the urge of emergence as a way of living, to begin to identify ourselves with the timeless spiritual aspect of our life, thus every single day answering the call to begin again, standing upon the platform of what has happened, but leap into a newness of our life. The newness, let's begin again, let's be a fresh starting point, so that we're not relegating ourselves to our history of the good old days, or in many cases, the bad old days. Because oftentimes individuals identify themselves not only with, oh, those were the good old days, I was in college and I was drinking, or the bad old days, some things that were terrible that didn't happen. People have a tendency to identify themselves in that particular way, but not you, not here, not now. No. This is a moment of a fresh starting point that you get to live and allow the infinite good to cascade out of nothing to become the very substance of your reality, the very substance of your existence, the very substance of your livingness. So that when you hear the words, facts are facts, but truth rules, you come to an understanding that we don't discount facts, but we know what they are. The facts are the condensation of previously held points of view, the condensation of thought forms that have condensed themselves into the facts of our life. But the truth is a timeless, eternal, forever. And the truth always transcends facts. You may have all manner of facts going on in your life based on previously held point of view, based on mental hypnotism, based on the acceptance of lack and limitation, and based on your interpretation of past experience. All kinds of facts may have emerged in your mind, your emotion, your body temple, symptoms, etc. But there is the truth of your being, and the truth of your being is that you are a timeless, dimensionless being that has no flaws, no original sin, is a perfect spiritual idea held in the heart mind of the infinite. And through our spiritual practice, we end up knowing the truth that makes us free. We don't know the facts don't make you free. The facts limit you. But it is the truth that makes you free. Now, when you begin to know the truth of your being, then you become free. You become not merely free from lack and limitation, fear, doubt, and worry, disease, and a discomfort, but you become free to express your nature. I was sharing in the earlier service, the meditation service. I can remember a number of years ago, I was sharing that I'd gone to sleep on the couch. And when I woke up, somebody had placed a basket of what I thought to be these vegan chocolate chip cookies in front of me. And I said, whoa, this is beautiful. And so I ate a cookie, and then I ate a part of a brownie, and then something inside said, don't eat anymore, so I didn't. I went back to sleep. Unbeknownst to me, I'd eaten a whole chocolate chip cookie that was a marijuana cookie. It was a medicinal cookie, and it wasn't for me. They brought it over for somebody that was in pain. But I just assumed that if somebody was going to put some cookies in front of me, they were going to be good and they were going to be vegan. So I go to sleep. I don't have any idea what I've eaten. And I start leaving my body. I'm flying all around the place. And there comes a moment where I actually think I'm going to die. I can't have any control of what's going on. And I'm nervous. I start to love everybody and pray for everybody. This is my last day. I want the universe to know that I went out with love, you know. And so there was a moment in this excursion where I got trapped in this cage. And there were bars all around me, and there was no entrance or exit. The bars were just totally surrounding me. I couldn't get out as hard as I tried. So I laid down in the cage, and I came to an awareness that I was already free, that I was free and I was freedom. I just moved into that space. And the next instant, I was out of the cage. That I had come to an awareness of the truth of my being, intrinsic freedom. And then I was out of the cage. Now, I had to take a couple of days off. My mental coherence was not quite there yet. I hadn't had any drugs in my system in 40 years. This was like debilitating. And I said, why would people do this to themselves? Point being, our intrinsic nature, freedom, our intrinsic nature, joy, the timeless is not merely a freedom from something, even though I was very free, very happy to be free from that cage. I was in tune with the freedom of my being in that instant. And there was an immediate release of an expression. And so, as a timeless being, and you obviously you come to a spiritual community, particularly a spiritual community that's non-dogmatic and that is about growth, development, and unfoldment. It's not merely about withstanding the blows of life, but it's about transcending and becoming more and more and more of who and what we really are. That we're becoming aware of this transcendent nature. It's a fresh starting point. Now, the facts were one thing, but the truth of my being that I got in contact with set me free, allowed me to be who I was. So I want you to begin to understand, if you don't already, many of the students know this, that take classes, that there is a difference between the facts of your life and the truth of your being. Facts being the condensation of previously held thought forms, mental hypnotism, things that you've accepted along the way, things that you've interpreted experiences become facts, symptoms, and ways by which you walk in the world. But the truth of your being, when you come in contact with, as I did in that moment, it sets you free. It sets you free. And so we come to an awareness, and I'm stalling a little bit because I'm trying to remember the topic of the day. Oh, that is the topic. There it is. Facts are facts, but truth rules. Why don't you just say that? Facts are facts, but truth rules. The truth rules my life. The truth of my being is timeless. Now, what comes to me today is, as I indicated, I was just in Rhythmia, the Life Advancement Center, where I teach twice a year there, and had a counseling session with a young lady that was a survivor of the Rwanda genocide. And she told me the story of what had happened to her and her family. They were killed. She survived because when the individuals came to kill her and the rest of her family, she had covered herself with blood, pretended that she was dead. And then subsequently a gentleman came and took her and another lady, and they had to hide for about 3 months in a compound. And then when she went back home, her home was totally burnt down. The city was burnt down where she lived, and her mother, family had been murdered. Subsequently, the doctors beyond borders rescued her, healed her wounds, and she traveled to another country to begin again in her life. And so that's just a snippet of her life experience. Subsequently, a few months ago, she wanted to change in her life. And she had seen me on the Oprah Winfrey Show. Fascinated her. She watched it over and over again. And then she saw that I was teaching a class on the Mind Valley venue. She signed up for it. She took it, started to change her perspective. She told her friends she was going to meet that man one day. And they said, yeah, right. And then she just had this urge within her for a shift to occur in her life. She was commemorating and mourning her family members every year. She had a level of survivor's remorse that she was living with. There was a number of things going on in her life where she wasn't really full-on living. And she bumped into this advertisement for arrhythmia. Then she noticed I was going to be there. And so she signed up. And they said, no, it's oversold. You can't come. And she said, well, when the cancellation happens, call me. And they laughed at her a little bit. And obviously I met her there, so obviously she got in. But here's the deal, that in like sitting with her and in her talking with me, she's a perfect example of facts are facts, but truth rules. Number one, she had a tremendous possibility. She was living with this dream, this possibility of a life that she really wanted to live. And in this dream and in this vision, in this possibility, she wanted to just meet Michael Beckwith. But that wasn't just meeting me, it represented something for her. It represented the possibility of a conversation, a moment of prayer, a moment of release. And she had this idea. And even though her friends were saying, that's never going to happen. You don't know that guy. When are you going to meet him? He's living in the United States. You're over here. It's not going to happen. But she didn't let go of it. She had this idea, this dream. And then when they told her, no, it's sold out, she said, she did not take no for an answer. She said, when the cancellation happens, get in touch with me. So she did not allow the temporary delay or the temporary denial to keep her from what represented so much to her. And then, as she began to go through the process of everything that the life, that Rhythmia offers in terms of the Answer Is You program, the class with me, all of the plant medicine, the wonderful things that occurred there, the cleansings, the food, the meditation, the yoga, she threw herself fully into it. And in the process of that, a shift occurred. She began to get in touch with a part of herself that was not the experience of the Rwanda survivor. That was her identity she's been living with for the last 20 years, 20 or so years. She was a survivor of the Rwanda genocide. That was her identity. Her face showed it. There was a kind of a gloom about her. A kind of a shoulders down about her. That was her identity. But in the process of going through the classes, doing the work, etc., she had a moment of spiritual sobriety where she saw that she was more than the experience that happened to her and her family. She got in tune with the truth of her being. There was an expansion. There was a shift. It wasn't a denial of the facts. It wasn't a denial of what had occurred. It wasn't a denial of any of that, but there became a greater embracing of her real nature and being. And as that occurred, she fourthly had to work with the survivor remorse. She started to feel joy. She started to feel a level of happiness, and there was guilt associated with that. How can I be in joy when my family was killed? How can I have a happiness when many of my people don't exist anymore? And in the moment of counseling, we became aware that as she has matriculated through law school and she got her life back to a degree, she was making a lot of money, but she was always in debt, always broke, because she felt guilty about having money. So whenever she got paid, she gave it away to people less fortunate than her, kept nothing for herself. So at the end of the month, she was always more and more in debt, even though she was doing good works and helping people. She didn't feel good about having, and she didn't feel good about having any semblance of joy. But the moment she had this revelation, we began to talk, she began to articulate that it was okay for her to be in joy. It was okay. And she decided that though she had been doing commemorating the deaths every single year, going into this level of remorse about those who had died, remembering those who had died, never forgetting those who had died, things of that particular nature. She wanted to shift, and she wanted to remember those who had passed over, but to begin to live her life for them, rather than stay in the downward spiral of dying for them every single year. Now, if you see the pattern of that, one, she had a dream and a vision and a possibility. It meant something to her. It wasn't Michael Beckwith, but it was her idea of being there and perhaps having a moment, a conversation, a prayer, some time together. And that meant so much to her. Two, when the facts came and said, no, that's not possible. Sold out. She held on to it anyway. And then what did she do? She did the work. She studied. She took the classes. She prayed. She meditated. She did everything that was there for her until an insight occurred. The insight that we talk about quite frequently here. The insight that allows you to go beyond history into the mystery of your unfolding. She had a taste, a glimpse of herself as a spiritual being. That yes, the experience happened in her life. We don't deny that. But there was a part of her that was untouched. A part of her that was unhurtable. A part of her that was triumphant. A part of her that was alive. And that with every breath, with every prayer, with every movement of everything that she did, she started to become more and more aware that that was her identity. And the experience was passing through her identity, but the experience was not her identity. It was passing through. And then she became aware that it was okay to be okay. It was all right to be enjoying. How often? Maybe you have some little chinks in your own armor where things begin to be good for you. Things begin to rise up. Things begin to be successful. But there's something in you that says, no. I can't shine too brightly. I can't be too happy. There's some things happening in my family, in the world, and I should not be in this much joy. But you must hear that I have come that you may have life and have it more abundantly. You have come to be that light. You have come so that you represent the vibrational frequency of the next stage of unfolding, and that you cannot be the major change in your own life or in the life of others if you still oscillate and vibrate at the level of the issue, the level of the problem, the level of the unforgiveness, the level of the rancor. No! You're becoming strong enough to stabilize yourself in the joy, because that's the answer. Stabilizing yourself in the celebration, because that's the answer. Stabilizing yourself in the awareness that you're an eternal being. This is not airy-fairy-ness. This is the part of you that transcends the time and the space and the historical perspective. And then to walk in that. And to, instead of saying, this was her language, instead of just saying, I'm going to just every year be sad at this time and go through moments of commemoration, I am going to live for those who have passed over. I'm going to live for them. She was going to be the answer to their prayers. So every year she's decided to get stronger, become more creative, more prosperous. And then, of course, I gave her some technology, a little bit on how to save some money, so that every month she had a little bit more saved, so the subconscious mind began to feel that she had, so that she didn't feel she had to give everything away because she survived, that she was going to become stronger. So if we look at that little blueprint for ourselves, we want to begin to understand that vision is powerful. A dream is powerful. It carries possibilities, even if that particular aspect of the dream doesn't manifest. The dream itself carries a frequency of possibility. And in the quantum field of infinite possibilities, when you begin to hang out in that frequency, things begin to change on your behalf because you're lifting your frequency into a whole other realm of possibility. Oh, say it with me if you will. I've got a great dream for my life. I'm living in high possibility. So much good is occurring for me right now. I am a fresh starting point for reality to express through. And it's happening right now. Somebody scream about it. And then become aware that the denials or the delays that happen in life is oftentimes just setting you up for a great expression of reality, that you don't take a denial or a delay as an answer from the presence of God, because the presence of God and the progressive universe is progressive, so it's always working on your behalf to reflect, so that you may be able to reflect and to reveal the cosmos in a way that has never happened before. And so you develop within yourself the consciousness of never giving up. And then you hear, it is always too soon to give up. It is always, never. You open yourself up. You may have to learn how to tango. You may have to shift. You may have to shift strategies at times. You may have to learn from your lessons. Absolutely. But you're not giving up. Not giving up. And then you do the work. You do it. You know, it is sweet and wonderful that we gather here on a Sunday. It's a sweet and wonderful frequency. It's a sweet and wonderful vibration. All three services carry their own distinct vibrational frequencies of a service, from the morning service of a sacred meditation to this service, to the last service. It's wonderful to come together and to commune together like this and to lift our frequency. But when we leave, we're coming to encourage you to stabilize this awareness, and that's when you got to do the work. You got to get down. You got to stop and really commune with the presence on a regular basis. You have to take full responsibility for your own life and the thought forms that flow through, and take full responsibility for that until that vision and until that feeling tone of oneness becomes more real than anything. You got to really do it. So that when you show up after a while, and the veterans know this, and the practitioners know this, that when you come to a spiritual community like this, after a while, you're not really coming to get as much as you are coming to help hold a frequency and a vibration, so that we all rise together, and then all flesh can then see it together, you see. And then when that work is done, all the little snippets of not feeling good because others aren't quite there yet, you become the vibrational antidote. Can't get in the ditch. Compassion doesn't mean get in the ditch with someone. Compassion means, how can I serve from a higher frequency? You see? So you rise. So it is your joy, it is your job to be in joy. You got a great job. Your job is to be in joy, even when you don't feel like it. You understand what I'm saying? In other words, joy is not conditional. It's not like, I'm in joy because that happened. That's conditional joy. I'm talking about intrinsic joy. You start to pray and meditate until you bump into, ooh, as she did. Ooh, there's a joy here. I've been covering it up because I've been guilty about my joy. I've been guilty about my success. I've been guilty about because everybody else, they died and things didn't happen. No, it is my job to be in this joy, that others may rise up in my frequency, in my vibration. You see, I have come that they may have joy, may have life, and have it more abundantly. to stabilize this, you see. And then I live. So we come to an awareness that when we deal with the collection of the world and we are embracing an opportunity in which all flesh shall see and capture the vision together of a world won by the power and the presence and the love of God, a deep sense of unity, we begin to be aware that in the African American culture, our history did not begin at slavery. Jewish brothers and sisters, history did not begin at the Holocaust. Vietnamese brothers and sisters did not begin with the Vietnam War. These are not our beginnings. We go through all the holocausts of the world. That's not the beginning of history. Pre that, there is a light and a love and a luminosity that is untouched and unhurt. And ultimately, we have to come to that awareness to have any sense of vibrational sobriety for the entire planet. It's not going to come through might and power. It's going to come through each of us in our own way, having a glimpse of the divine within us. That we're bound together inextricably by a unity at the core of our being. That is not religious. It is spiritual truth. It is not religiosity. No religion owns it. Religions point the way to a transcendent awareness of our oneness in God, our oneness in beauty and love that then births a kind and just global society based on unity, not might and power. Manipulation that we see running amok in our world, materialism and greed. But something is inviting us to rise up so that the whole world begin to see a whole new way and allow their imagination to be re-enchanted again about the possibility, you see. And so if this one woman can lose her family and almost lose her own life and has to hide and cover herself with blood in order to survive and come to a sense of joy, of being, and a sense of this happened, but this is not my identity. My mother died. My family died. Killed. Friends, family, house burnt down. That happened. That happened. That happened. That's history. But I'm bigger than that. If one person can do that, and we know many, many, many people who have done this, then we can all move from history to the mystery. We can all move from mystery to history. History to mystery, to unfolding good. And allow for the intrinsic love and joy of our heart to be what leads us on the planet. We can hear Dr. King speaking of the beloved community. All men and women living together, regardless of color of skin, etc. We can begin to see a brighter vision. But live it vibrationally. Close your eyes for just a moment. And I want you to think about perhaps some moment in your life where there was seeming darkness. Might even be now. Something that was maybe terrible that happened in your life. And I want you to be aware that it's in your awareness. It's not who you are. It's not your identity. Just go with me with this. It's not who you are. It's in your awareness, but it's not who you are. And I want you to look at it and ask this question: what gift have you received by having to deal with this thing? What talent, what quality of being has emerged or is emerging because of it. Universe is progressive, so there's a gift there for you. And though the mind wants to hold hard to, this happened to me, I want you to shift and ask, what gift? What inner vitality is emerging because of this thing? And then she can be so bold. Give thanks. Give thanks for the gift. Give thanks for the gift that has occurred because of this situation, as this young lady is giving thanks for her unbounded joy. She's giving thanks for her success. She's giving thanks for this sense of resiliency within her being that she never knew she had. She gives thanks that she can now let her life be a testament for those who were fallen. What can you give thanks for right now? What can you give thanks for? Just say, I give thanks. Even though it might be hard, I give thanks. I have the power of thanksgiving in me. It is redemptive. It is transformative. It's making me strong. I give thanks for everything. Everything is working together for my good. And I mean everything. Everything. Everything's working together for my good. Feel into that. Take your power back. You're not a victim to circumstance, conditions, facts, as the condensation of global, collective, or individual thought forms have no power over the truth of your being. You are a celebrant of the divine presence. Now, as you feel into this sense of thanksgiving and gratitude and celebration, it's okay to celebrate. You are a celebrant of the divine presence. We're not denying facts. We're just embracing our real nature and being. We're inundated with so much lowest common denominator of the human experience through the media. Imagine for a moment, newsflash, peace is happening on the planet like never before. Imagine for a moment, newsflash, modalities of healing are rising up for people to heal mentally, emotionally, physically all over the planet. Imagine for a moment, newsflash, everyone's need is met right now. Now, just you can use your imagination any way you want. Now just rise up together. Everyone who can stand, please stand. Open up your heart and your hands, and like you're about to receive a great gift, and say, I'm receptive to more good than I've ever imagined. Everything is working together for my good. All things are working together for my good. The universe is for me. I am for me. Somebody scream about it. As you just want to shake the body out a little bit, we want to see a grand celebration, a great Pentecostal celebratory moment happening on the planet. Love is breaking out all over. As you are moving that body, and as this music begins to play for just a couple of moments, just let your body do what it wants to do. What? 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 All the world now. The love train. Feel it. The next stop that we make will be love. Tell all the folks in Russia and China too. Get those endorphins flowing. Don't you know that it's time?
keep on riding, riding on through.
Are you playing that, man? People all over the world, join in. The love train. Love train.
Ride this train, y'all. Love train. All of your brothers over in Africa.
Over in Africa.
Tell all the folks in Egypt.
Another moment.
Don't miss this train.
Let the inhibition go. You're in spiritual community.
Miss it. I feel sorry for
You don't want to miss this. You don't want to miss the love train, Joe.
sisters and brothers. Come on, ride the train.
Woo! Woo! Woo!
Don't need no ticket. Come on,
Here we go. 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 What? 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 Sing it. Your affirmation. What? People all over the world. Somebody scream. Take a breath. Release. Hands up. Turn in. In this moment of dynamic celebration, the moment of transcending facts and coming to the very truth of our being, ye shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free. We come into a moment of divine coherence by holding ourselves accountable, taking full responsibility for our own celebratory moment. We do this by entering into a field of gratitude right now. We can do this. Say, I can do this. I can do this. We can do this. We enter into this field of gratitude and thanksgiving and appreciation. We're not denying facts, but we are embracing the transcendent realm of timelessness and eternality, breaking into time as our very life. We're grateful to be alive. Say, I'm grateful to be alive. In this consciousness of gratitude and thanksgiving, our awareness, ability to recognize the presence behind everything becomes so acute. We're able to move from something is happening to us to something is happening for us. Something is happening for me. Say it. Something good is happening for me right now. And so in this consciousness that something good is happening for us right now, we recognize the presence behind everything. Feel so one with the presence of God that the very word that is being spoken is a vibrational frequency of absolute truth and the truth of the absolute. I speak it for each of us now that we may be free today, free to be totally healthy, more healthy than we ever thought we could possibly be, that every organ and action function of the body temple is made every whit whole for ourselves. And if we have somebody we're holding in prayer for a moment, we stand in proxy for them right now. In other words, you allow this prayer to cascade through you for the being that you're holding in prayer for. You're standing in proxy for your friend, your family member, your associate, your business partner, your loved one. As you're lifted up in this frequency, you draw them into the frequency of wholeness and wellness and well-being. Let the light shine through them right now. See it that way. Will you be whole? Will you be whole? Will you be made whole? Every organ, action, function of the body temple hears this sacred yes, and the celestial body is now controlling all of the subtle bodies. The body of our affairs are reflecting and revealing the transcendent order of the universe. Our mental body is clear. Our emotional body is pure. The body of our affairs reflect the sacredness of the cosmos. And everything is working together for our good. Oh, we see it now. We see it. Say, I see it. I'm willing to see it. I see it. I'm willing to see more. Open mine eyes that I may see the glorious reality. That's my prayer. And so as we feel into this right now, you can begin to take your seats, but hold the prayer field. Take your seats, hold the prayer field. And catch the feeling. I want you to, this is a feeling universe. You've heard me say this for so many years. This is a feeling universe. It matches our feeling, not just our emotion. Feelings and emotions are not the same thing. It's a feeling tone. Joy is a feeling tone. Prayer. Catch the feeling of your wholeness right now. You matter. You're significant. Catch the feeling that you're all right. Catch the feeling that everything is working together for your good. Catch the feeling. Catch the feeling. Catch the feeling.
There is a power deep within your soul, creating each and every flower. It's the breath that makes us whole. No, it's the source of all that's real. It's the beauty that you feel when you claim it. And so it is. All your dreams are flowing right to you, no matter what seems to be real. Though you know it's passing through, say that I'm walking not by sight. I am knowing all is right. Yes, I claim it and I know it, and so it is. There ain't nothing more that needs to be said. I just speak my word and rest my head on the shoulders and the wings of the Spirit within. The kingdom is ours. It's already been given. It's already been given. Oh, so claim it. All that's in your heart, believe it. Right where you are, that's where you start. Release the reasons your dreams can't become reality, and let the Spirit move you. Reclaim your majesty and be free. We are free. Let yourself be free.
Let yourself be free. Say, I'm letting myself be free. As you reach across and take the hand of the beings next to you, feel the pulse of a praying community. We pray. We're a praying community. We're a meditation community. We're a generous community. We're a service-oriented community. We're a lover of God community. We're an enlightened community. And when we pray, we're not begging. We're coming into a realization that that which we're praying for, it's already happening in the mind of the infinite, and we're allowing it to happen through us.